Hi, everybody. I'm Marlon from Bursey Twins Stories. I've self published 2 books with my twin sister, Alana Bursey. Today, I'm going to help you learn about different review sites for authors, what works and what doesn't. I've done a whole bunch of different ones throughout this video. I'm going to show the good, the bad, the ugly, everything I learned about them so that you guys can learn from what happened to me on my adventure trying to get more honest reviews for Amazon and Goodreads. So, all these review sites are in agreement with the Amazon review and guidelines. It seems to be working. Amazon seems happy. The only thing you have to watch out for is if you have to make sure that you are in accord with Amazon's agreements. So the review sites do their due diligence. They offer multiple formats. But if you are on KDP Select, which means you have your book on Kindle Unlimited, you do have to be careful that you don't break the agreements because of your agreement to be exclusive with Amazon for your ebook. You can still use these review sites. You just have to be more strategic. And we have a whole other video explaining how to do that because we ran into that problem. So watch our other video. It's linked at the end to see how to do it right if you are on Kindle Unlimited or KDP Select. So keep listening. We're going to check out all these different review sites that I tried out. So the first review site that I tried was a total flop. It was kind of one of those too good to be trues. It seems too good to be true. It often is. The name of this review site is called Christian Authors Unite. And it sounded great. I had a Christmas story. So I was like, great, a nice, encouraging community of people of faith who will appreciate and hopefully understand and love my Christmas book as much as I do. And so I got tokens, as you can see here in the top right. I got lots of tokens. I was participating. And then I noticed that no one else was. And I got one pending review. I don't even think it ever made it to Amazon. And I was like, this does not seem like it's working. So then I contacted them and they just said, yeah, our site is pretty much dead. Cancel before you have to pay. So I did. I learned from it. But my main takeaway was use that free trial because it's a great way. No free trial. I'm a little more skeptical now. I'm going to move on because there was nothing good about it. The site disappeared. But do your research because that is often the case, right? These review sites don't last forever and you just don't want to be scammed and you don't want to be taken in. So the next review site I chose to check out was called Pubby. So I did a whole bunch of research, not a whole bunch. I watched videos on YouTube and read some blogs, but looked into it and Pubby was recommended by a bunch of people. So I tried it out. Good news, they do have a free trial. So for 10 days, you can review other people's books, collect points, and get reviews for yourself. So I'm going to share what I liked. I really liked it had a free trial. Okay. It was only 10 days, but that's good because I could try it before I paid any money. And I also really liked that it was pretty easy. I uploaded my books and the reviews did start pouring in. So I enjoyed that first 10 days was like amazing. So I'm just going to show you here. I had 6 reviews for the one book, 5 reviews for the Christmas one. They're just honest reviews. You never know what you're going to get, but it was positive feedback that I got. So I really like that. I also liked they have a huge library. So I read, these are all the books that I chose. So I really enjoyed, there's a variety, kids books, travel books, religious books, cookbooks, self-help books, like a whole bunch. So things that I seemed interesting to me, I read them and I gave them a review and I got points. And so then we do with the points is you can put them towards your books. And if you look, we got some great reviews off of it. So after the 10-day free trial, I subscribed for the month because I thought it's working. It's amazing. This is going to get a world record reviews. Once again, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So after, like literally at the end of that 10-day period, it like stopped working. And suddenly, so since then, it's been another week and a half, and I've had no reviews. I think one person picked up the book to read. And so it just stopped. And I was a little disappointed because it was going so good for that free trial. And then it feels like once I paid for it, nothing happened. But I don't know if that's just the reader pool. And so you can see here, I had a lot of tokens. So that's out. You can do Kindle Unlimited. You can do a free copy. You can do a purchase copy. And it still says my dial is still at your research speed is fast, but it's not fast. It's slow. So I'm going to give it a couple more days to see. I'll go right till the end of the month because I paid for it. And then I'll probably cancel my subscription. We'll see if it doesn't get back. But I'm going to wait a bit to give it the benefit of the doubt, and then we'll see. So I did contact Pubby. They have these nice little chats where you can talk with their AI and it looks stuff up. And like, hey, my reviews have dropped off. What's up with that? And they mentioned that they try to put the old posts, the old books and stuff up to the front so they get reviews. So they said you just have to kind of wait. And then as your book shifts to the back of the library, they'll bring it back to the front. But that was kind of sad because that wasn't happening at the very beginning, right? Everyone was seeing it. As soon as I posted that the book was out for review, someone picked it up. So it really seems like now that you're locked in page, your books go to the back of the library and then eventually it might come around again. But Pubby does seem to really prioritize the free day or free 10-day trial. So that's a great time to get your book viewed. But it seems, at least my experience, is that after that 10-day free trial, once you pay for the subscription, then your book goes in this like giant library pool, which does seem, mine at least hasn't seen the light of day since. So that's my experience with Pubby. So another good thing about Pubby is that you can choose to upload a PDF, or if you're unable to upload a PDF and you need to only send people to Kindle Unlimited or verified purchases, they have those options. So it kind of meets both people, whether you're a part of KDP Select or if you're not, both people can use this review site. You just need to make sure you're following Amazon's guidelines. So the next review site that I tried out was called Goodnight Reads. So this is their webpage here. At first, I thought it was too good to be true. They have a free option. But then when I did more research, the free option only gets you 3 reviews a month. So I did end up buying the 1-month subscription to try it out, because their 1-month plan, you can get 18 reviews, honest reviews. They don't guarantee the star, but they just guarantee that they will put your book in front of people. So that seemed good, because the problem with Pubby and some other sites are that no one saw it, whereas this website claims that they would put it in front of people. So I thought, why not? I'll give it a try. 1 month. So now that I'm signed into Goodnight Reads, you can see what it looks like. So one thing I do really like, it was pretty easy to get our books approved. They make them animated, which is kind of fun. None of the other sites seem to do that. One thing to keep in mind with Goodnight Reads is that the only option is a PDF. So every time that somebody picks up your book to review, even if they choose to go read it in Amazon, or they have a hard copy or whatever they do, the PDF does get sent out. So we just chose not to upload our PDFs if they were on Kindle Unlimited. But that was our choice. So do some research, see what you're comfortable with. But that was one thing with Goodnight Reads. But then once it's not on Kindle Select, you can upload and go to town, go get lots of reviews. So one thing I did like at first was that once it loads here, you can see they have a small library. So unlike the other ones that had like hundreds of books to choose from, this one only gives you 6. So this is how they can guarantee that you'll get some type of review. They don't say what the rating is, right? You never know if they'll like it. But I have 6 books to choose from. So that's good, because it means these authors get put in the spotlight so people can review them. But it is a little bad, because it means if there's some books that I don't like, you're kind of stuck reviewing books that you don't always like. So I didn't like that. But back to things I like. I do like that it kind of fairly pushes people's books to the front. So that's pretty awesome. And I also liked the checkout. So once I check out books, so the checkout is when I choose a book from my library, it comes here. So these are all the books that I checked, and it shows you like it's waiting for reviews. But then once it does process the Amazon review, then it like records them and keeps them for you. So it's pretty organized. I did like that. And I like how it just shows you. You've had 6 checked out. It's pretty user friendly. And my books. So as an author, when I go back to my books here, it's also nice. It keeps track of your reviews. So you can see it's off to a slow start. Only 1 so far. But they say they guarantee you 18. So I'm really curious to see if you can get 18 reviews and what quality they are. We'll see. So that's what I like. What I don't like about it, though, so coming back here to the library, they only have 6 books here. And then when you review one, it shuffles. It only adds 1 more. So even though I haven't read like Grandma's Garden here for the past week, it's still there because I haven't read it. So I don't like how it's so limited. It's good for that person because it keeps their book in front of me. But something I don't really like is that it kind of really chooses who you review, because they're trying to prevent review swapping. So what they do is people I review, I don't get to see theirs. And people who review me, I don't get to see theirs, which is good. That makes Amazon happy. But it does mean that once I read someone's book, they tend to give me more of that person's book because that person isn't going to review me, right? So they're trying to give me people who I've already reviewed so that more people out there can review mine. All right, so I'm checking back in after 3 weeks on Goodnight Reads, and I'm really happy with the results. If you look there, we have 18 guaranteed reviews. So that's 18 times they put it in someone's library and they read it, which is great. And we also have 2 bonus reviews, which is pretty amazing because those actually came from readers, not just authors. So they just picked our book out of the vast library of books and gave it a review. So it's pretty awesome. We're pretty happy with it. And we still have some extra credits there. We have 1 extra. I believe we still have a couple reviews waiting because you can get extra reviews by referring people. So we did refer. Thanks everyone who clicked that link and joined through our referral link. It does help us get reviews. I do have one thing that we noticed from Goodnight Reads. If I go to reviews, is that they do come from all over the world. So we have 18 guaranteed reviews, but that doesn't necessarily mean we have 18 reviews on Amazon. They come from, they can just post them on Goodreads, and it's also Amazon all over the world. So we have a couple from UK, America. So they are out there. Amazon did approve the reviews, but just there's a lot of America. But there is some from UK and some Goodreads and some from Canada. And so it's just something to keep in mind is that they're from everywhere. So sometimes if you're looking for like quick growth, it's not just targeting one Amazon platform. It's anywhere in the world. So, which is really cool though, that people from the UK are reading our book. I do really love that. It's pretty exciting. So that's the update from Goodnight Reads. So far, so good. I think we're going to give it another month, keep it going because it's working. So that's pretty awesome. So the next one up I tried is Book Bounty. One thing that drew me to Book Bounty is that you're able to sign up as a reader for just $5 and you can read a whole bunch of books and generate reviews and get bounty points. In the corner here, I have 8,000. So what I did is for almost a month, I just generated bounty points as a reader. And then when I had 15,000, I thought, great, that'll equal about, I don't know, 10, 12 reviews, hopefully. So I thought I'll upload as an author, put my books on there, and it let me do that. So then when I was ready, put my books on. I have both of them here, you can see. And that was just last night I did it. And already this morning, my books are approved. And there's already 3 people reading my books, which I think is pretty awesome. That's a pretty fast turnaround for people noticing and finding the book. So that's great. One thing that's different with Book Bounty is when you sign up, when you put your book out for a bounty, is you can choose the marketplace, which is pretty unique. I wanted a few more reviews in Canada since some of the other review sites were really focusing on America. So I can put here and you can just reviews from America, or you can choose any of these countries. You can do multiple, 3 or 4 at the same time. That's totally fine. And you can also choose from anywhere, or you can choose Kindle Unlimited or verified if people buy your book. So I kind of tried just one of each. I thought I'll try a review where it's verified, a review for Canada, and a review from anywhere. And I'll just see which ones get picked up first. And actually, let's see if it shows me. So yeah, this one, the live bounty, is the one from Canada and the one from anywhere, someone from Australia. So that's pretty cool. And then we have another one from America. So that's the anywhere. So far, no one's picked up the verified, but those are kind of tricky. I don't like to do those either because you have to pay for it. So, all right. So that's my first little bit of Book Bounty. And we'll check in later at the end of the month to see how many reviews I got. All right. So I've done 1 week of Book Bounty. So far, pretty good. I had a bunch of bounty points, about 15,000, almost 20,000 within the first week because I stored up. Remember, I was a reader first. So that helped me get some points, and they all got taken, all my bounties except for one, because it's a verified review, and those do seem to take a little longer. There's less people interested, but it's sweet that there is an option for verified reviews where people actually buy your book and review it. But so far, people are taking the book. Within a week here, you can see most of the reviews have come in, which is awesome. So I'm pretty happy with it. If I were to do it again, I would be a reader for longer so I could accumulate more like 40,000 points or 50,000. And then I think then I would put my monthly, become an author, and then because it's unlimited, so you can get a whole bunch, like your points are saved, and then you can get as many reviews as you can. And it seems like people are taking them. So next week, when I get more bounty points, I think I'm going to focus on only Canadian reviews, because I did a bit of everything to see what was taken, and they all got taken, all the bounties, which is awesome. But I want to really see, if I only focus on Canada, if there's a big enough readers pool of people, of reviewers. So we're going to try that out next week. I do want to show you. So if I go to my bounties, so I did my 6 in a week, and then it says you have to come back on January 13th because they limit you. So that's kind of good, because it stops me from just mass accumulating and kind of driving Amazon crazy by speed reading and getting, leaving so many reviews. But it does mean that now that my bounty points are at 1,000, that's not quite enough to get, to make a bounty to send out. So I'm stuck waiting until Tuesday, or whatever day January 13th is. And then tomorrow, Tuesday. And then on January 13th, I can, read my books. But then from now on, I'm limited to that, like 6 books a week. So I can only ever get like 4-ish, maybe 5 if I do the cheaper reviews. So we'll see. So we'll see how it goes. So I've kind of like limited myself. And if I were to do it again, I would stockpile bounty points as a reader and then use them. So I'm learning. I wasn't sure if all my bounties would be taken, and they have been. So it's been a good experience. Let me click on it and see if it shows me. And it does. So it shows you the reviews. So you can see I got one from Canada, another from Canada. Woohoo, I was trying for Canada. Yay, lots of Canadian ones. That one's a verified review, which is awesome. So the person actually bought it. And you'll notice it hides their name, which is kind of nice. So there's that confidentiality. Some of the other places show their Amazon review name. This one's, and then we did get a few from America. But it is good. I got a few verified. I think there was 2 verified for that one, and 2 or 3 from Canada, which is awesome. So one thing I do like about Book Bounty is that they have some choices here. So you can upload your PDF if you're able to, if that goes with Amazon's agreements. But if you are on Kindle Select, or your book's on Kindle Unlimited, you don't upload a PDF. All you have to do is you can make a link to your Amazon and to your Kindle. And so people come on, and like my book here, you'll see there's no PDF, but I can choose to, for extra bounty points, put it on Kindle Unlimited. So that's my main option. Or you can do a verified purchase, which sends people to Amazon. So Amazon's okay with that because there's no PDF involved. You're just sending them to Amazon, and then people read it through Kindle Unlimited, or they buy it. So that's an awesome. I do really like that about Book Bounty. So they have a lot of books, but I've just found a lot of the quality isn't, I'm not enjoying the reading and reviewing as much. I mean, I am finding books I like, but so if you look here, they do have an extensive library. It goes, we're at like so many pages, so many. So sometimes it's hard to find books I like, but when you just keep looking, eventually there is some. So you just have to keep looking, keep filtering through. But I tried to read books that interest me because I want to give it an honest review, right? And so if I look at a book and I go, there's no way I would buy that, then I'm not going to read and review it because I'm not going to give it a good review, right? So try to find books that do interest you, and that you would actually like to read. All right, so my trial with Book Bounty is almost come to a close. So it was really easy. I was able to cancel my subscription already, so that it won't be renewed in the next month, but I still get access until the end of my subscription time, which is great. So you can see here, I'm still able to, my book's still out for reviews right until the end of the subscription, which is awesome. So I just wanted to share the final results for that. So we got a total of 16 reviews so far, and then people are still reading, and we still have a few out. One thing I do like about it is if I click on this one, well, any of them really, I can show you. But if you scroll down, it actually shows you where the reviews come from. So that's pretty neat. It shows you like, sweet, 3 from Canada, 1 from America. Pretty cool. Or our other book, we click on it and scroll down, and this one we were really trying to push for more Canadian reviews, trying to get to our 100. So far we're at 95. It worked. We got 9 Canadian reviews, 2 American, and 1 Australian. And so we really pushed the Canadian reviews, but we had a couple, I think we had 3 total verified purchases, which is pretty cool. So far, I did really enjoy Book Bounty. It was easy, it was fun. I do think I'll use it again in the future, but I have to go try some more. Check them all out, and then we're going to compare them. All right, so the next review site I tried is getbooksreviewed.com. That's what it's called. So I'm just going to share you quickly. I chose to do their 20-day free trial, which is pretty awesome. I do like that. Nice. That's the longest free trial that I've seen so far. One thing that is totally new to Get Books Reviewed, I didn't see on any of the other sites, is they have a family and friends network. All right, so what this means is that you can get family, friends, people you know to kind of join your readers team, and then they read books, leave reviews. So they're not it's nothing to do with your book, but they read and review other books, and then a percentage of their tokens will come to you. So you get tokens, which is kind of cool because a big reason people often get flagged as being like robots or not reviews is if they read a bunch of books and have a whole bunch, they read books too fast, and Amazon's like, hey, that's really fast reading. But if you can get your family and friends to read books and get tokens, then you can put your book out. So that was kind of a neat. I haven't seen that on any of the other sites yet. It could be out there. I maybe just haven't noticed it in my trials. So you can just see here, depending on the subscription you get, whether you're premium, standard, or limited, you get a percentage of the tokens that your family and friends earn. So that's just a neat thing. I haven't seen that yet, and I'm not going to use it because I'm only doing the 20-day free trial. And I just want to show you guys. So if I go to books I'm reviewing here, let's see. Okay, so when you're on the free trial, they limit you to just 2 books. So popping up. One thing Get Books Reviewed does really well is they really have a lot of information about policies, procedures, how to leave good reviews, how not to be reported as spam or flagged by Amazon, because you want to be reading books and just leaving reviews. So they do a good job at really trying to coach their readers along, as that just popped up. So for me, I read these 2 books, and the thing I don't like is I have to wait until Amazon approves my reviews. So I read the book, I left a review, but I'm still limited to 2 books and 0 tokens until my reviews are approved and uploaded and published on Amazon. It's okay if Amazon's quick, but right now it's been 3 days and Amazon hasn't approved and published my reviews. So I can't read anymore. I still can't get any tokens. And without tokens, I can't put my book out to be reviewed. So I'm waiting. But I still have 17 days on the free trial. I'm trying it out. So I actually contacted Get Books Reviewed because there's a few things I was confused by their website. One was that when I go to Review Library here, they have a neat little setup where you can find books based off the genre, the category, the tags, if you're looking for adventure, fun, tearjerker, whatever. But they also, down here, if you click, you can organize it based off Kindle Unlimited, PDFs, or free Kindle promotions. So in the past, I really like to do the free Kindle promotions because it gets a verified review. It shows that you bought the book, but it's free. You're supporting them on launch day. It's just nice. It's fun to support authors on their launches and when they're really doing a push for more reviews. But when I clicked on their free promotions, every single book that they had there wasn't actually free promotion. So when I clicked on it, it actually had me, you have to pay $6 or $2. Sometimes they were a huge discount, but it wasn't free. So I don't want to spend any money right now. I'm just trying to read them on Kindle Unlimited or free promotions. So that was a little discouraging because on some other sites, there was always a free promotion option, but the other sites just might have a bigger pool, a bigger audience. Anyway, so I contacted them about that because I was like, is there another spot I should be looking for free promotion books? And they just said that's it. They said it could depend on the country. Maybe someone's running a free promotion, I don't know, in America because I'm in Canada. I don't know. They didn't really have an answer, but they just said keep checking. Sometimes they have free ones, sometimes they don't. So in my 3 days, I have never seen a free one yet, but I'll keep checking. We'll see. The other thing I contacted them about is because I'm limited to 2 books, I just asked them about that because I said hey, I could spend a long chunk of my 20 days just waiting for Amazon, right? It could take 2 to 10 days for Amazon to approve reviews. And they explain that when you're done the free trial, then I think they give you your tokens a little faster. You don't necessarily have to wait the whole time for Amazon. But they explain that the purpose of their free trial is not to show people how fast you can get tokens, but to show people how the website works. And so they're really just geared on teaching people how to give reviews properly and how to leave good reviews. It's not about speed. They don't want people just to join the free trial, get a bunch of reviews. They just want to teach them. So I was a little bummed out about that because some of the other free trials, you got like 10 reviews in the free trial, and that was pretty exciting. This one seems to be a more slow and steady approach, but they do offer Kindle Unlimited and they do offer verified purchases, which is really neat. So if you can do PDFs, great. They're really big on making sure that you follow Amazon's policies and agreements and that you write good reviews. So I am impressed with how diligent they are in trying to make everything clear and straightforward. They have a lot of instructions. And one thing also, I can't share my screen because I did it before when I set up my account. They do have a way that you can share the links to books that you've already reviewed to prevent review swapping. So I thought that was kind of cool because they won't put my book in front of somebody who I already read and reviewed. So that's kind of neat that they try to set you up for success that way. So I gave them like 15 links, like here's all the links to the books I already read and reviewed, and they're going to make sure that they don't see my book. So that's a neat little safeguard that they put in to prevent review swapping. All right, so here you have my book here. So it's easy. You can upload a PDF if you want. I chose not to because I'm a part of KDP Select for this book. So I cannot upload a PDF. If not, it breaks the exclusivity of my agreement with Amazon. So I didn't do that. Instead, I chose to make it available on Kindle Unlimited and the ebook on Kindle and on paperback. So you can see here. So it's nice. You don't need a PDF at all. You can just point people to Amazon. All right. And then Amazon's okay with that because everybody who reads my book has to read it on Kindle or buy the book. So they like that. If you look down here, I do need to get 3,600 tokens to put my book out for review. So I was a little bummed out about that because that seems like a lot of tokens. And right now, my books, the 2 books that I read, it's like 750 tokens I got for reading it and 500. And I still don't have them yet because I'm waiting for Amazon to approve the reviews. We'll see how it pans out. I got to do some more reading, and I do like that it points people to Amazon. So here's their breakdown. You can see they have 500 tokens if you read it on Unlimited, 1,250 if you purchase the book on Kindle, and then you get 3,250 if you actually buy a paperback. They give you a couple extra days because you have to wait for the book to come to you. So it's cool. They have great things. I'm learning how to do it. They also have a little blurbs there about your book. One other thing is for their standard one, that's the one that I'm most interested because I'm always looking for the cheaper option. They do still limit you to 6 books that you can read and review, but that's still relatively feasible as most people can't really read much more than 6 books a week anyways. So I still feel like that's fair, but it definitely will take you time to like accumulate tokens based off the pricing. So they also are really pushing for people to either buy them, the ebook, or buy the paperback because that's the fastest way to get tokens to then put your book out there. So they do have those 2 options. They are affordable options. Their premium is still only $24. And I'm not looking into that one too much, but if you want more information, it does give you bonus tokens and a few extra fun little perks. All right, so good news up here in the corner. You can see I finally have 4,000 tokens. And so it took me reading 3 books to get there because they organize it. They give out their tokens based off kind of the size of the book. So kids' books are only worth like 500 to 750 tokens, and novels can be worth more tokens. They also have a bonus feature. So if people are more desperate or anxious or really want to push their book to get reviews, they can add bonus tokens. So the book I read, I actually got 3,000 tokens for. So normally I wouldn't get that much, but because this person really wanted their book to be reviewed, they put it out there for 3,000. So I was like, sweet, fun, little mystery novel. It was awesome. So I enjoyed it. I read it and I got 3,000 tokens and I left a review. So that was good. So I am feeling a bit better now that I finally have some tokens here because it has taken me almost a week. It's a slow process, this trial, but let's see. Let's see if I can actually get some verified reviews. So that's what I'm going for. So I'm going to hit view book to publish because now that I have tokens, I can publish it. It takes 3,250 tokens. I do have that. So let's see. How do I actually do this? Publish the book right here in green. I missed it. Or 3,600 tokens because they do take a few. I forgot about that. They have a low word count fee and a not publishing, but putting it out there fee, a listing fee. So let's see. Is published. Okay. So it's out there. It's out in the world. Unlike other review sites, you don't choose like Kindle Unlimited or verified. They open it up. It will be Kindle Unlimited or verified or bought paperback, but I don't choose. They just put it out there and then the reader chooses, which is kind of interesting. There's a bit more choice there. So we'll see how long it takes to get it picked up. And I'm going to see if I can find it in the library. Okay, so if I type it in the library, I can find my own book. I can't review my own book, but I just wanted to see what other people see. So this is what other people see when they look for your book. So anywhere from 500 tokens to 3,250. I only have the Kindle Unlimited or purchased options. So, okay, it's the same information as before, but it's in the library. So that's pretty sweet. So now we'll wait and see if someone picks it up. And I'm going to keep reading and reviewing to try and get a couple more I think I have about 10 days left. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so I finished my trial with Get Books Reviewed, and I'm not even going to share my screen because in the end, it just didn't work, okay? I got one person picked it up to read on Kindle Unlimited, which is okay. I was hoping for verified, but on this site, it's up to the reader, and they chose Kindle Unlimited. Then it still always said pending. It just always said pending review. It's coming. So yeah, in the end, I maybe got one, but it just didn't work out for me. I did put another book out to be reviewed and no one picked it up. So it just mustn't be what the reading pool is looking for on this site, which is okay. So I'm going to move on. All right, so the next book review site that I tried out is called Booksprout. What makes this one so special is you don't have to read and review other books. So with all the review sites that I showed you so far, you had to read books, leave a review, and earn points or tokens or snaps or whatever they're called, different point systems. And then in return, you get points and then you can get your book reviewed, like an internal currency. So you're not paid, but you're getting stuff. Anyway, but it's a lot of reading and reviewing, okay? A lot of reading. So I was taking up a lot of time. Thankfully, I had a bunch of snow days, but it's not really that sustainable. So then I heard about Booksprout, and that caught my attention because you don't have to do any reviewing. All you do is you put your book on there, and then other people go through the library, and they just choose to read the book for free and then can leave an honest review. So that caught my attention. So I'm just going to sign in here and show you how it's been going. All right, so now that I'm signed in, you can see here I accidentally set up a whole bunch of review campaigns. I didn't start them, but I'm starting to set them up. So I'm not sure what happened there, but this is the one that is live and active. So how it works is you do need to be able to upload a PDF. So you do need to make sure that you're in compliance with Amazon's guidelines and that you are able, you're not exclusive, you are able to share the PDF. This book we can. So we uploaded the PDF. And then they put it out there in their library and readers can find it and choose to join your review team and leave a review. So in my $10, or it's $9, but it's American, in my plan, my monthly plan, you can see here I can get up to 25 reviews. So they have different options, but I felt like that was a pretty good one. I'm just kind of doing the standard one for each review site. So you can get up to 25. You pay more. You can get up to 50 or unlimited. And how it works is you set a time. So it ends on the February 26th. So I just set it for a month because I'm trying to be consistent with each review platform that I try. And then I gave them but by February 28th, they need to get the reviews in. So we'll see how it goes. So this has been 5 days on. And you can see I have one participant, which is kind of cool though. It's still someone I do not know who chose to read the book. And you can see there's 2 people who saw and clicked on the link to read about my book. And then you also see there's 118 impressions, which means 118 people saw it in the library and unfortunately chose not to pick it up. But that's kind of cool that it got put in front of 118 people. Now, I did notice that most of those impressions were at the beginning. So it does feel like my book kind of started out in front of people and it feels like it's kind of been bumped back in the library, which would make sense because they're posting new books every day on here. So I did a bit of research and watched some YouTube videos, and they did say they would suggest doing new campaigns kind of like every week to kind of keep bumping your book up to the front. So I'm going to see if I'm able to do that. With the $10 plan, I am a bit more limited with what I can do. So we'll see. But it is nice, so I don't have to read and review books. So that's one of the biggest selling points for me, was I was exhausted from reading books. Whereas this one, that doesn't happen. So I don't do anything other than I create the review campaign, and then I just let it be in front of readers and I see who signs up. They do have an option where you can take a link and like share it to promote it on different Facebook, different social media, to be like, hey, check it out on Booksprout. You can read my book for free. All right, so I'm here just on their pricing page. And so I'm on that $9 plan right there. So I did reach out to Booksprout because with the free plan, you're only allowed one review campaign, right? But I'm like, there must be a way to get more, because I don't want to be stuck with only one reviewer the whole time. So I reached out to them. They got back to me really quick, and they said that you're able to close a review campaign and start a new one. So they suggested, instead of doing one campaign for my whole month, they suggested kind of doing them every week. So I ended my campaign, which is okay. They said the person who picked up my book and said they would read and review could still do that. So I started a new review campaign for a week. And then I thought I'll do that throughout the next few weeks. So my goal is to set up 3 different review campaigns. But because of my plan, I can only do them one at a time. So each week I'll just keep doing a new review campaign, and we'll see if that will help me get more reviewers. So if you look at their pricing on their page, with their plans, I'm a part of the $9 plan, and that means you get 1 active. But if you pay more for their pro, you can have 3 active review campaigns. And if you do their bestseller, then you can, or best-selling author, then you can have unlimited. So depending what you need, those are their different plans. But I'm signed up for their $9 plan. So I'm going to share with you my 3 review campaigns for Booksprout. So my first one, I did. So it was supposed to be a month, and then I cut it short because I realized it wasn't going anywhere and it wasn't seeing the light of day. So 1 person signed up, and they still have not left a review, but they do still have time. They have until the end of the month. And then my second one, you'll see here, I have less impressions and views, but I actually got 7 participants, which is pretty exciting. Now, almost all of these participants, though, I didn't actually get from Booksprout directly. They have a cool share feature here on the side, and it lets you post a link that brings people to Booksprout, and then they can read it there. So I posted on a couple like Review or Arc, or just some sites on Facebook of people looking to read free books. And I got 7 people, like they commented and responded, yeah, I'm interested, send me the link, great. So that's how I know that I got the people from social media instead of just through Booksprout. So of those 7 people, today's their last day to actually leave the review because it already ended. You can see that I did get a couple reviews. They were super positive. I like some of them left private feedback, and they also left it on like Amazon or Goodreads, which is great. So I did really like the quality of the reviews that I got, but not everyone who signed up did leave a review. So it is worth noting I only actually got 5 reviews so far out of my 7 people here and the 1 person before. So it's not 100% success, but it's still pretty good because it's still higher than my regular read and review rate when I ask people. So I'm going to go back to my review campaign. So that was my second one. So that worked pretty good. And then my third one here, I started, and it hasn't really seen a lot of impressions. So that also could be because of the time. I started on a Monday. Some people suggest starting on the weekends. Some people suggest the middle of the week. I'm just kind of trying to start them at different times and try to learn from it. So we'll see. So far, I only have 1 participant, but we'll see. I still got about a week left with that, and then check out the summary. That's at the end of the video. All right, so we made it to the end. Thanks for staying with us. So I'm going to share with you now the results. So after all of our months of trial and error and trying these different author review sites, this is the results behind me. And you can see for yourself which author review sites work the best. So in regards to the most reviews, we got Goodnight Reads with 29 reviews. That was really good. They guarantee 18, but because we did refer people, we did get some bonus credits. So we definitely would have got our 18. And then next up, we had Book Bounty, and then Pubby, And then at the end, we had Get Books Reviewed and Booksprout. And they both, towards the end, I think the biggest issue, it's not actually the review platform. They're just set up differently for different reasons. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen here. So depending on the genre of your book, if it's children's books, Goodnight Reads, Book Bounty, and Pubby all did amazing because, Goodnight Reads is only children's books. And then Book Bounty is awesome, and Pubby because they give similar points out for reading and reviewing children's books. So there's that big incentive. Readers are like, sweet, for 3 minutes, I can get the same amount of points as if I review a novel or close to it, right? There's enough of an incentive. So I found on those sites, my children's book got picked up a lot more because there was that like equal distribution of review points. So that benefited children's books. All right. But if you're writing romance and fiction, a lot of people do say that Booksprout is good for that. Apparently, they have a good pool. Now, the pool is always changing, but that's what I've heard, anyways. And so, if it's romance or fiction, then Book Bounty, Pubby, Booksprout, and Get Books Reviewed can all work depending on the needs of your book. And then, if it's nonfiction and self help, then I really notice there's a lot more in Book Bounty, Pubby, and Get Books Reviewed. But once again, it's always changing who the readers are, the different reading pools. So you have to just kind of keep doing your research and keep staying up to date because, and there could be new sites being invented and created. So you just have to keep trying new things. But this is kind of just an overview of what I felt like, depending on your genre of book, which review site would work best for you. So I'm just going to share with you guys quick my favorite one. So my favorite review site was not actually the one that gave me the most reviews. My favorite one was actually Book Bounty because it got me 20 reviews. But what I loved about that program is that you can sign up as a reader. You can sign up early and you can get extra reviews. So you can read and review books for like months and accumulate a whole bunch. I didn't do that because I was just trying it out for a month. So I'm trying to try them all out and just try them all out the same. So I didn't accumulate a whole bunch, but I think I will use it again. And then before launch, I'll accumulate all those points. And then you can actually put it towards verified reviews. So every single one of the reviews that I got from Book Bounty were all either confirmed page reads from Amazon, Kindle Unlimited, or it was verified purchases. People bought the ebook, people read it. And so it was really cool that you could actually track it. And I didn't have to upload a PDF. So I really like that one. It was a great experience. The reviews just felt more like verified. It just felt like you knew those people read your book. And hopefully the other people all did too on the different review sites. But I did like that it really felt like legit reviews. Like people read it and left their opinion. So Book Bounty will definitely do again. The main thing I think is Get Books Reviewed and Booksprout, I think just don't really work for my genre of book. They're kind of designed for like a long haul if you build a reader's team and then bring more and more books towards them. And because I'm only trying out for a month, it just didn't work for what I wanted. So what I wanted, Book Bounty and Pubby really worked for. Now, Pubby, as I mentioned back in the review, started out amazing and then really slowed down and then jumped back really good again right near the end. So they still got good reviews. I just didn't like that it was more like a roller coaster. I kind of like that Book Bounty was just kind of like every day someone checks out your book, they're a new person. So I just like the consistency. But in regards to Goodnight Reads, they did the best. They got the most reviews, although none of them are verified. So I appreciate the reviews. They're honest. There were some really great, thank you guys, great reviews on there. But it's just there's no proof on Amazon that people read it, right? So it's because they're not verified, they just don't hold the same weight. But they're still beautiful. They still gave the reader a great perspective on our books and how people enjoyed them. So that was awesome. But that's just kind of the only downside is they give lots of reviews, but they're just not verified. So, all right. So now it's your turn to do your own research. Check out which book review sites work best for you, depending on your genre. I'm a children's book author, so that's the main focus of mine. But depending on what you write about, some of these other book review sites might really benefit you. It might really be up your alley. So don't just take my word for it. You can try them out yourself. Best of luck. Remember to click on the like and subscribe button just down below. All right. It really does help. We're trying to double our subscribers. So help us reach our goal. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck as you get your book out there and get good, honest book reviews. All right, and happy writing and reading. Thanks for watching, everybody.